Hey, everybody. Welcome back to your new favorite podcast, Simply Be Sustainable, where we take it back to simpler times. I'm your host, Brooke Chase, and as always, I am jazzed for this episode. Today, we are talking about something that I have been wanting to talk about since. Well, before I ever knew that I wanted to have a podcast, but basically it was kind of the start of where I began my minimal journey. Today, we're going to be talking about how to simplify your wardrobe. You could call it a capsule wardrobe. I'm just going to call it a simple wardrobe. Simplify your closet, how to organize your closet, and how to choose pieces that will complete your wardrobe. And we're going to get into sustainable fashion. And just like last time, as I started working on this, I realized there was just like way too much to cover. So there's going to be another episode in this series. We'll probably take a little mini break and then do another episode. But there's just so much, and I really like style, like and fashion, and I think it's important for people to express themselves. So I want to do like a deeper dive. So that's why I'm breaking it up. But today we are talking about how to simplify your closet. So I just want to start off by, getting level with you guys and just say that, I was a person that I had piles of clothes on my bed, on the couch that no one ever sat on in college. I remember my closet was bursting at the seams, the drawers were overflowing, and my room was always a mess because of that. And it was like, I would look at all these clothes and I would be like, I have nothing to wear. And then I would go out and buy more clothes and still have nothing to wear. And I literally would wear everything like one time. I don't know. It's just an endless cycle. So if you are there, like I just want you to know I'm not judging you. I was that person. I was you. I tried on 329 outfits. I had 14 pairs of jeans and six of them I didn't like. And you want to feel good in your clothes. And so this show is really to help you begin that journey to feel good in your clothes. You're going to feel more stylish. You're going to love yourself more. Like it really, this is a real thing. And so why does all of this matter? Because you're going to have less stress. You'll have, when you like, think about when you go on a trip and you travel, you know, just packing will be a lot easier. So, do you know that you make like 35,000 decisions a day? So, another reason that it's really good to do this simple wardrobe is because there's a lot less deciding, right? One less thing to decide what you're wearing because all of it looks good together. When you get dressed in the morning, it will be a lot easier. If God forbid you move, I mean, my Lord, I have moved seriously like five, maybe six times in the last 2 years. So we're going to do an episode on that because I'm like a pro mover, y'all. Anyways, but the less stuff that you have, it truly like that's what this show is all about, creating more minimal life. And so you're wearing things that you want. I mean, you want to feel good in your clothes. That's why you think I have nothing to wear because you don't like what you have, but you don't like it because it doesn't fit right or it doesn't feel right. So when I started this, I didn't even realize decluttering my closet had anything to do with just sustainability. You know what I mean? So let's talk about what a simple wardrobe is. So you could call it Project 33 if you want to do a little more digging. Like I said, people call it a capsule wardrobe. We're just going to call it a simple wardrobe. But basically, it's a limited selection of clothes that are all kind of interchangeable and complement each other. So the history of it is in the 1970s, Susie Faux, I think that's her name, opened a boutique, minimalist looking style clothing. It was very versatile, high quality, easily mix and match, and it was very successful, and it was made to help women gain confidence. Well, in the US in 1985, Donna Karan created Seven Easy Pieces, so this has kind of been around since then. And how we got so into fast fashion from there, I'll never know, but god dang. All right, so the first thing you're going to do is listen to the episode before this, but you know you have to declutter your closet. So I really believe in this method. And I think when you're doing clothes, it works really, really well because you're basically going to ask yourself, does this garment spark joy? You just hold it up. You can have a big mirror there if you want and just say, like, does this spark joy? And don't overthink it. Don't think about getting rid of it. It's just yes, no, maybe. And like, don't put a lot of thought to it. And it's like, if it fits you really good, it's going to be a yes, right? No matter what. And if it doesn't, it's going to be a no because you don't feel good in it. And don't be like, oh, well, when I lose 10 pounds or this is going to come back in style. Like we're talking about right now. And then you can see all the things that were yeses and see maybe you can do it again. Like maybe you have two of the exact same. And we're going to talk about the next thing is like creating a uniform, but you might need like, so let's say you're big into the gym, right? And you go to the gym every day and you have a couple of pairs of leggings. You want enough to get you through to like before you do laundry, right? So it's okay to have a couple of things. Like we're not going crazy, but if you're not somebody that really doesn't go to the gym quite so often, then you maybe don't need like 32 pairs of leggings. You know what I mean? Or sports bras or whatever. So think about what you have and then think about your lifestyle. Really think about how you spend majority of your days or weeks. So like do you go into the office? Do you go to the gym? Are you mostly at home? Like you have to think about the way that you need to dress according to like what your lifestyle is. So for me, basically have three uniforms. So which I just want to say, like this whole uniform thing is so funny when I was doing research for the show because like me and my friend would always be like, oh, what are you wearing tonight? We'd be like, oh, wearing my uniform. Well, like, cause we always just like would kind of wear the same thing, but different. And it's like, it's so funny because we were basically creating something that was beneficial and we didn't even realize it. I'm either if I go out or I go to church or I go to like a work meeting, they're basically the same level of like dressy uppiness. You know what I mean? So it doesn't really matter whether, like, if I'm going out or, I mean, depending on the weather, but this is also just for winter, by the way. It's like a little less, like if I'm going to church, I'm not wearing a tank top, but it's basically the same thing. You know what I mean? Um, and then the other thing I do is like go to the gym, take the dog for a run. If I go run errands, it's basically the same as the gym clothes, leggings, a tank top or a t-shirt, and then a sweatshirt and sneakers, right? And then I also work from home. I've been into these like leisure sets because it just makes me feel put together, comfortable. Like I don't want to stretch out my jeans when I'm just sitting here doing this all day. You know what I mean? So I have three uniforms. So going out is basically jeans, a top or a sweater, a jacket, boots, and jewelry. And then when I run or take the dogs out or run errands or go to the gym, it's leggings, a tank top or t-shirt, sweatshirt, and sneakers. And then when I work from home, those leisure suits are like a sweatsuit. So those are basically like my three uniforms. So, create that for yourself so that you can determine what kind of stuff that you need to keep. So now you've decluttered your closet, you've kind of figured out your uniforms. Now you're going to organize your closet according to those needs. You have to look at how much space you have. So, like, if you have a big walk in closet, kudos to you, you can utilize all of that space, right? If you don't, then, like, I'm sorry, but you have to have less stuff because you have less room. So, it is all very customized to what you have. So, for me, I have two small closets, and I basically put my extra stuff in the one closet, and then the other whole bedroom is really basically my closet. I put my clothes that I hang up, and then I have a dresser in there. I just have all my shoes and everything in there too. So, you also want to think about how often you need it. So for me, that's why I have the other stuff in the other closet because I don't really need to go over there then. Everything I need is in the other closet. And then also, like, how can you best take care of it is important to how you organize it. So, like, I like to have my t-shirts and sweaters folded. I don't like to hang them because then it gets like those, like hanger marks and they kind of stretched out and stuff. So that's according to how I organize what I have based on how I want it kept, right? So I have like all my t-shirts in one drawer. I have like all my jeans in one drawer, which if I had room, I'd like to hang them up. I just don't have room. And I have like my sweaters and my sweatshirts folded closet because I don't have room in the drawers. So you have to figure it out based on how much you need it, how much room you have, and how you can best take care of it. When we talk about taking care of your stuff, there is definitely some things that you absolutely need to have. So one of them is this shaver, like a sweater shaver. I absolutely love this thing. I'll put the link in the blog, but I think I got this on Amazon. You could probably look for them at the Goodwill. But like whenever your clothes get kind of like pilled up or whatever, it's just battery operated. It's small, and you just turn it on, and then it just like buzzes like the pills off. You know what I mean? So that can keep your clothes really nice and like restore the ones that need restoring. The next thing is a lint roller. And I have a reusable one that's metal that I got on Amazon. It's not great. You can't use it for all fabrics. Like obviously it would scratch up some fabrics. So, but I always try it. Like I'll use that for like my jeans, and for the couch, I use it a lot. But for some things I can get away with that. I also have a lint roller that like you wash with soap and water, and it's, reusable. But then some things, like I feel like for the fine tune, like I have 2 dogs, so and I used to have a cat, so I'm very familiar with like you got to deal with the dog hair, especially on black. You know what I mean? So lint roller. All right, and then the other thing, which like thank God to the person that introduced me to a steamer, because holy, like if I had to iron something, I would just get rid of it. I literally like mindfully did that. I was like, I hate ironing. I do not want to iron this. I'm not going to iron it. I'm just going to get rid of it. So if I have things that really seriously needed ironing, I just got rid of it. But now I know about steamers, so it makes life way better. You just get yourself a steamer and you're good to go. Oh, and good hangers. Invest in like the felt metal ones, and I really like wooden ones. Wooden ones are really good, especially for like coats and like heavier things. So get yourself some good hangers. Plus, it just makes your closet look a little better, more organized when they kind of all match. But that's like aesthetics. You don't have to have that by any means. And you can score probably some on like Buy Nothing or wherever. Okay. When you try to have less things, you have to utilize the things you have to do more than just like what meets the eye. I have like several cowboy boots and I love them. So I have them out on display. My jewelry that I don't have a lot of jewelry, but I love my jewelry, so I have it out on display. And actually, I thought that I lost my absolute favorite necklace, which if you're watching on YouTube, I'm holding it up right now, but it's a little tree. I have had this for like I don't even know, my whole life. But when I went to the Jazz Fest, my purse fell out and I thought it was in my purse, so I thought that I just like had lost it. It was literally on my jewelry thing the whole time, and I just didn't realize it. So I was doing my research for this show, organizing my jewelry. Like, oh my God, it's right here. So yeah, so put the things that you love out on display. Double function as like, decor. Plus, if you can see it out, you'll remember to wear it more often, more purpose, all of the things. Your hats, like you can hang them on the wall. If you don't see it and you can't find it, you're not going to wear it. And in which case you might as well not have it. That's why also the stuff that I do have in my drawers, I fold it so that I can see what it is with weight wise. Does that make sense? My jeans, I'll fold them and like layer them so I can see like a couple inches of each jean. And when your drawer is not stuffed, you are able to do things like that. And again, you have to organize and have however much according to the space that you have. So that's why all of this is really important. So the next part is the fun part, filling in the blanks. Is I follow a couple people on Instagram that I like their style, right? And I know my body type. So one of the benefits of being 39 is like I know what I'm not going to wear and what doesn't work for me. Like if it's not comfortable, no matter how fancy of the occasion is, I'm not really going to want to wear it unless it looks so good that it's overshadowing that. But so, get to know when you look at all your yeses that you already have, because remember, we're not at the point where we're buying anything. We're thinking about what we're going to buy. So we're looking at the things that we have that we said yes to, like think about the fabric. And now that we're being mindful, we can also shop sustainably about that fabric. But we're looking at the shape of it. Is your body like, so if you measure, which get one of these little measuring tapes, and what you want to do is know your body type, right? So you measure the width of your shoulders, you measure the small of your waist, and then you measure across your hips to like the top part of your butt, like the biggest spot. And you're either an inverted triangle, which means you're bigger on your shoulders by a couple of inches than everywhere else. You're a rectangle, which is basically the same in all the areas. You're a pear, which means you're like bigger on the bottom. You're an hourglass, which means you're a little bit the same on the top and the bottom, but exceptionally smaller in the middle by like 5%, I think it is. And then if you're an apple, then you're round all around. Which all of these body types are perfectly fine. But when you shop for things, you're going to want to accentuate the parts. And I'll put the link in here on how to do that so you can kind of research that on your own. But you know what looks good on you and what you feel good in, right? So you want to dress accordingly to that. So I thought I was actually like an hourglass, sort of, but my waist is not that much smaller, and apparently I have like broad shoulders, which I would not have thought. But when I measured myself, my shoulders are like definitely the biggest part of me, which I was surprised because like I really don't think I have that broad of shoulders, but I don't know. Maybe I need to have someone else measure me. I'm wrong. But yeah, so learning new things every day. Um, but yeah, so like, I know what I don't like to show my stomach at all. So I'm not gonna buy a crop top and hope that one day it looks good. Like it's just not happening. And I know that I'm also short, but I have long legs because I have like zero torso. So if something looks good on a person that has a very long torso, I know that that is not going to work on me because I don't have one, like at all. um I like high-waisted stuff. I mean, I really I could not pull off the high-waisted. I mean, I recently like lost some weight, so now I can do it. But before, it just looked like I had a freaking fupa. I don't feel confident. Like I would kind of leave the house thinking I looked okay, and then I'd see a picture of myself and I'd be like mortified. I mean, for me, it's everyone for their own. Now it's fine. Like I love that I can wear that now. But again, so you have to shop and dress according to what makes you feel good, and you only know that by like trying things on and like really being mindful about purchasing it. I'm going to talk in the next episode about a list of things that I wanted to fill in my wardrobe. So, just for an example, there was a bunch of outfits that I really wanted that were like black, flare, distressed bottom hem, button fly, and high waisted. So it was very specific of what I wanted that was going to go with a bunch of outfits. And so I did try to find them secondhand. I did try to find them thrift. I wasn't able to find what I was looking for. I knew if it wasn't exactly what I wanted, that I wasn't going to wear it. So I decided to purchase these jeans. I am obsessed with them and I wear them at least once a week, if not even more than that. And they're my favorite. I spent $70 on these pair of jeans, but I get compliments every time I wear them and they make me feel amazing. And I wanted them for a long time. Like I knew that they were going to complete my wardrobe. I have to do my commercial for Frownies. So if you can see me on YouTube, you can see that, I really don't have a ton of forehead wrinkles. Well, I will tell you that I did. Okay. And, you can tell I don't have Botox, which I'm not saying I'll never get Botox, but this is holding me over because I did get Botox for 10 years. My forehead looks pretty darn good because I use Frownies. Frownies are an all natural alternative to getting Botox. And if you use code SIMPLE, you get 10% off. You get like 144 patches in each box, and you basically just layer them like paper mache when you go to sleep at night, and it holds your forehead in a cast and releases all the tension in your forehead. And I love them. I'm a huge fan. Get yourself some Frownies, ditch the talks, code SIMPLE, help me pay my bills. All right, that's my commercial for Frownies. When we're thinking about purchasing new clothes, obviously we want to try to stay away from fast fashion, those brands like Shein and things that are made very cheaply, which we found out last week from Johnny that it's not China that's the cheap anymore. It's like Bangladesh. But try to look at where the material came from and the raw materials that were used. Some of the good types of fabric are organic hemp, cotton, organic linen, made from recycled fabrics. There's going to be a link in the blog. There are some certifications. I don't know how much I trust. I really need to get like all new bras and underwear right now. And everything that's stretchy has polyester in it. And so our simple swap of the week is that we want to really try to stay away from plastic in our clothes. It causes hormonal thing, fertility for guys. It can interfere with your testosterone. And we're putting these on like the most sensitive parts of our body. And when we wash them, 16 times the microplastics are going into the water and into the ocean, and they can't be filtered out because they're so small. So I'm going to try really hard not to buy polyester anymore. Your simple swap of the week is to line dry and then swap your polyester for organic or natural materials like cotton and the ones that we just mentioned. The most sustainable things are the things that are already in your closet. So, I'm not suggesting that like you get rid of everything that you have that is that, but just be mindful of every time you wash it. So maybe you try to wash it less. Oh, that reminds me of my simple confession. So when we were talking about uniforms, so my simple confession of the week this week is that like, well, when I have to do something that I've already done before, like sometimes I just like automatically just think like, oh, well, what did I wear last time? And I'll just wear that again. And so an example of that is every time I went to a wedding, if it was like the weather of whatever the other one was, I wore like the same dress. I think I'm done wearing that dress. I think I'm retiring it. But to be fair, it was a very, very expensive dress. And when I went to the wedding, when I wore it the first time, I had a very like beautiful, specific image in my mind of what I wanted to wear to this wedding. And I got it and I spent the money for it. And this was kind of the beginning of my journey when I was like starting to do mindful purchasing. I was like, well, it was very expensive and I'm going to love it every time I wear it, which I absolutely did. And I seriously wore this dress to like 5 weddings. And you can't really tell. Like, I don't know, my hair was a little bit different, but I even wore like the same shoes and everything. So nobody notices. Nobody cares. They really don't. And if you love what you're wearing, you want to wear it again anyways. So my simple confession, like I did the same thing. There's like a horse race where I'm from. If you're in Wilmington, Delaware, you're very familiar, Point to Point. I wore a Lilly Pulitzer dress 3 or 4 times. They weren't in a row. It was like over the course of like 10 years. And again, like with a jacket, different shoes. Like I wore it very differently every time, especially because the weather was so different. But the last time I wore it, I was nominated for best dressed. And it was like the third or fourth time I had worn it. So, simple confession, a lot of times I just literally wear the same thing. Okay. Oh, you know what else we're doing today? Our beer of the week. So it's been dry January, and I really like to try new beers. Like it's just like my thing. I used to be on this show called Thirsty Thursday, and I just like really missed it. So I kind of brought it back to like spice up my life for dry January. And there is a liquor store in Savannah called Habersham Liquors, and you can do like a make your own 6-pack. And they have a huge selection of NA beers. And this company, I should have researched this before, but it's called Untitled Art. And they have a whole bunch of them. And I'm a stout girl. I like my stouts. I want to make a song about that because I'm a stout girl. Anyways, it's a chocolate dark brew, non-alcoholic, again by Untitled Art. And so we are going to taste it. Now, the only thing that I'll say, the biggest reason that I can't just like stick with these NA beers, because I was kind of hoping I could, it's just that they all taste flat. That's like the problem. Like, see, it's like nice and bubbly. But anyway, we're going to try this right now. It's good. It's very good. So the key to tasting beer is you don't decide until the third sip. It's definitely stouty. It's definitely sweeter, on the sweeter side. I would definitely say there is chocolate notes here. Yeah, this is good. Very good. It is just missing that little bit of the crisp bubble. I don't know what it is about the non-alcoholic beers. But yeah, so this is your beer of the week, a non-alcoholic, untitled art, chocolate dark brew. It is made in Wisconsin, Wanaukee, canned and brewed. All right, so that's your beer of the week. Oh, here, I'll show you the can. All right, what's next? So we're going to talk a little bit about these certifications of how you're going to make your new purchases. So it says that there's one on Amazon called Cradle to Cradle, which I'm very happy to see. I just don't know. I need to do a little more digging. It honestly seems like the most. I wonder, the thing is, like, it has to be a third party. Like, so there's another one called GOTS certified, and it's like hashtag behind the seams. But then there's two other ones, Made in Green and Oeco Tex, and both of those are actually the same, and certification seems to be owned by them. So I mean, anything is better than nothing. But so what you can look for is Cradle to Cradle, especially on Amazon. It's made of eco materials and responsibly grown with water efficiency and renewable energy. There's GOTS, like I said, is hashtag behind the seams, and that one is developed by a leading standard organization that aims to unify existing standards. And then the other two are Made in Green and Oecotex. I don't know about those two, but the other ones, I mean, at least they're trying. So that's good. So we can look out for those. Again, like whenever we're doing mindful purchasing, you're going to think about like, how often am I really going to wear this? How does it look? How does it feel? What is it made out of? We want to purchase quality things, or like I said, you can get them secondhand. You can go to a swap, you can host your own swap, those kinds of things. So your homework for until the next show, we're going to talk about things that like you're going to add to your wardrobe in order to like amplify it, right? So your homework is to think about your style. So like I said, like I'm sure you already follow people on Instagram, but just kind of like save some outfits and see if you see like pieces that are repeat. If you think creatively, like for example, the oversized blazer, mine is from the Goodwill in the men's section. It's the same shape as the one that's really trendy right now. And I'm like, it's from the Goodwill men's section. The point is when I wear what I already have with these pieces, it just updates my wardrobe to be like current. And you can do a lot of these things through accessories, right? Like, so right now I'm just wearing a t-shirt that I got, or a sweatshirt that I got at the Goodwill, but I'm wearing it with jewelry and, my hair's done and I have like, just dress jeans on and I'm going to wear it with some boots. And I'm going to go to First Friday Art Stroll tonight. So like, I'm just wearing a sweatshirt, but I'm dressing it up with like the accessories. So that's another thing that you can do that doesn't necessarily have to do with I'm going to just kind of wrap up everything here. So you're going to declutter your closet, only keep the things that you really love, kind of look at the themes of what it is that you've decided to keep so that you don't keep buying things that you know that you aren't going to wear. Like I never wear a 3/4 length shirt. I'm never buying one again, and I got rid of all of the ones I have because I just hate them. I don't know why. I just hate them. Okay, so then you're going to think about your daily life. How do you dress typically? And then create like a couple of formulas that we're going to call uniforms. Pick your uniforms. Then you're going to organize everything that you have according to the space and like, so you can see it all. If it doesn't fit in the drawer, you have to have less. If it doesn't fit in the closet, you have to pick less. So you have to organize it according to the space. And then try to appreciate it and put the things that you love out on display. Like I said, my cowboy boots, my hats, they're hanging where I can see them. I love them. They make me feel joy when I see them. All the things. And so your simple swap is, like I said, line dry your clothes and just think about the polyester that you have in your wardrobe and try to purchase your new mindfully purchased things without polyester. So we're going for organic materials like cotton. Again, I'll have all this stuff in the show notes and in the blog so you can refer to it later. And I'm also, so the next show, what we're going to do, oh, and know your body type. Like I said, like know what you want to accentuate and things that do that, and styles that do that. So again, your homework is to follow some people on like Instagram or Pinterest or whatever, and like find some outfits that you love and see how you can create those outfits with what you already have, and then think about the pieces that you're missing, and that's where we're going to get into like more of the style and the essentials for the next episode. So I'm going to end with a joke, and the joke is, what do you call someone who is really good at making denim? A genius. All right. So thank you guys so much for joining. Next episode, I'm going to do a little bit of a Valentine's thing. I've been eating this chocolate mug cake, and we're going to talk about some Valentine's sustainable decor and some Valentine's sustainable gifts. So that is what we're going to talk about next episode. And then the episode after that, we're going to get back to our wardrobe. So you guys are going to have like 2 weeks to do your homework. Okay.